Hi guys! Alrighty, I was given a bunch of bonsai books a while back, and I found in here there is a whole bunch of gorgeous advertisements, or that's what I think they are. So look at these. I just think those would make cool little pieces of ephemera in journals. But I also found a whole bunch, look at that. There's a whole bunch of little pictures that maybe the bonsai artist or whatever you call them. But look at them all. So many. And they look like little IDs to me. Little Japanese ID cards. Anyway, there's so many. Look at them. So, you can see I've already made a start. What I've been doing is just making like really super simple little ID cards for junk journals. So, you'll see some have just a little bit of writing, but then on the other page is the little photo. And let me show you what I've been doing. So I just made some super easy little ID cards. I don't have a lot of rubber stamps, so I've kind of scrounged the ones I do have, and I did find one with a little number. I think it's got AB9740. So I thought I wanted a little ID number, a date, and some sort of seal. And that's all I had. So I've used them. But look how cute they are. They're a bit different. Some let me move that a minute. Some have the photo in the middle, some are in the corner. Some have more space to stamp than others. Like you'll see, this one had a fair bit of space, but some don't have much space at all, like this one. But that's okay, I just kind of stamped over it. But anyway, let me make a couple and then we'll have a closer look at these because I just love them. I think they're so cool. I didn't ink these. I didn't think they needed it. But when I put them in the journal, whoever ends up with that journal, if they think it needs inking, they can ink them. I've used all scrap cardboard. I just thought, I don't know, they're just so cute. I love them. Okay, so let me move them aside and let's just make one or two. Now, I had a whole bunch of these dividers from accounting books, and I thought I'll use some of those up because the cardboard, it's not too thick and one side is nice and aged. So all I've been doing, I made so many, I couldn't stop. I just loved them. Okay, I can fit 4 or 4. So there's a bit of scrap. That's okay. I'm fine with that. I wish that I could just glue the whole page down, but some of them, the photos on the other side. So some I've had to, you know, snip. Now, at first, I was just using any side. But then, you know, once you get started, you start nitpicking. You know, maybe this side is better. I wish I wouldn't do that because it slows you down, but yeah, sometimes I start off okay, not being too fussy, then I end up being a bit more fussy later. Okay, So I think I'll do these 4. I mean, if I had some bigger cardboard, I could do more at once, but that's okay. They're so quick and easy. Now, you may not, of course, if you wanted to make something like this, you may not have a bonsai book, but I thought I'll just show you anyway, because it sometimes just gives you, you know, ideas and makes you look at rubbish and things in a different way. Now, those bonsai books, at first when I was given them, I tossed them aside because, you know, the pictures, a lot of the bonsai books I've got, they're actually hardcover. Now, I love bonsai, but I'm not too fond of the colour pictures. And so I tossed all the books aside, and I just happened to be flipping through this one, because I've got a few like this that aren't hardcover. And, oh yeah, when I found all these little ads and goodies in the back, I was just like over the moon. So I thought I'll show you, because sometimes you look at different books in different ways. You know, those bonsai books I was originally going to pass up when, you know, the lady asked me if I wanted them. And because I thought, oh gosh, you know, how am I going to use up all those bonsai pictures that I'm not too fond of? And I've got enough, you know, books with pages that aren't that great to use in journals just as they are. You always have to, you know, do something with them. So I was going to pass them up, but now I'm so happy I didn't, because I would never have found these little Japanese ads and these, I don't know, I'm assuming this says a little bit about the person and their bonsai, whatever pictures in there that belongs to them, their work. So yeah, if someone offers you some books that, you know, you're not too fond of, yeah, just take them. You can always, it's good to rescue them. You can always figure out something to do with them, and you may find some nice surprises like this. But anyway, some business cards, I know a company I worked for, we had our photo on our business cards. So, you know, you could use something like, you know, old business cards with photos. Some of the real estate agents, you know, they leave business cards in your mailbox and it's got a photo of the person. You can kind of transform them. Encyclopedias have a lot of little black and white pictures of historical men. And you can turn those into ID cards. Now, actually, my ID cards are super easy because it's kind of already there. All I've got to do is stick a stamp on it and cut it out. But I know Kirsten over at Penny Rose Journals. She made some ID cards a while back. And I'll put the link to her channel down below. You may have to scroll back a little to find it. But that's okay. You can have a look through her other videos while you're finding it. But yeah, go check out her little IDs that she made, because hers were really good. And I think, Kirsten, I can't remember if it was you, but I do remember one being put in a little plastic pouch that looked really, really awesome. Pretty sure it was you, but may not have been. But anyway, check out Kirsten's little ID cards, because hers, she did a lot more work than mine, and they were so cool. But yeah, I mean, use whatever you have. Okay, this I'm just going to shove it aside while it dries, and I've got another one I've already made. And use whatever cardboard. I love to recycle, so I've got heaps of these stupid dividers out of the accounting books. But I've also just brought into my room this morning, it was Easter here yesterday, and the kids had, these were in Oreo Easter egg boxes. It was full of eggs. And I thought these would be nice backing for these as well. So I'll also use these. And I can pick, you know, do I want a white backing or a nice brown? I'd probably keep the brown. I kind of like that colour. So yeah, you know, use whatever cardboard you want. Okay, so I'm just going to snip this whole piece off first. Of course I did it crooked. These little cut-offs, yeah. You know, I've been keeping them. I'll make some little mini tags out of them. This stupid strip I've also kept. Don't know what I'll do with that, but we'll see. Okay. Now, I've not been too fussy when I've cut these. They're hand cut. The line between these two, I want to keep the black border on because I think they look more official with the black border, but I'm really blind, so some I've kind of mucked up and snipped the line off, and some are really uneven, but that's okay. I'll live with it. Sometimes I'm a bit like overly fussy with stuff and I try and make it perfect, but it's a junk journal. It does not need to be perfect. And I keep saying that, but then I muck around trying to get really even lines or something. See, that one's really wonky, but that's okay. We'll live with it. So yeah, sometimes ephemera, you don't have to sit there and spend 2 hours on a tag. I like quick and easy. So these were just so perfect for me because I don't want to muck around. I also didn't have a good collection of stamps to be able to make, you know, my own ID tags with the writing and stuff like that. So these were just so perfect. And there's so many in that book. Goody goody. Okay. I will get rid of these little thin snips. Alrighty. And then I've just stamped them. Now I've got another little bundle here that I've made that have not been stamped yet. These are all the ones I have stamped. I also don't have a very big collection of ink colours, so I've just used whatever I've had. Use what you have. Okay, of course black. So this is the little serial number. So they all have the same serial number, AB9740 or something. And because all the little pictures, they're in different spots or there's, you know, a different amount of writing, I'm just stamping wherever I think I can fit it. Have I got that the right way? Okay, I won't stamp all of these while you're here because that will drive you a bit crazy. But I'll do a couple. Now, if you're not a junk journaler, you're probably wondering why do you want to make little fake ID cards? I don't know. Why do we do a lot of stuff with junk journals? I just think if we had real ones, we'd pop them in journals because, you know, we love real ephemera. But since we don't have real ones, you just make your own. Oops. This ink takes forever to dry, so. And I just think when you if you buy someone else's journals, it's fun to go through and just find little interesting things in them. Okay, that's enough, I think. I'll do the rest off camera. One more. Oh, some of them I don't know where to stamp. Okay. I'll do those guys off camera. Okay, then I've got this little, it's kind of like a seal. And I'm using Blazing Red, which I would not normally use. I was given a lot of craft stuff by a friend before she passed away some years ago. So a lot of these things you see have been kind of inherited. You know, red, purple inks, that sort of thing. This little kind of seal, well, I call it a seal, but whatever. I've kind of been stamping over the writing a little. I don't know why. I just think it gives it more of an official look. Don't ask me why, but... And a little bit over some of the photos, just depending on the layout. It just looks a bit more official to me. But yeah, I had a good old time just sitting here chopping and gluing yesterday. These are my favourite projects when you get immediate results. I don't have to sit here forever, you know, trying to make one thing. Just making a whole bunch of something. And then you toss them aside and you've just got some for journals. So you'll see these in all my journals now until they're used up. Okay. So that was my little seal. And then for the little date stamp, I've been using Vibrant Violet. Now, I haven't really used this before. I thought it was too light, but when I actually stamp, it's not too bad. It's a bit darker than I thought it would be, which is good because it kind of reminds me of the old ink pad stamp. You know, the old office ink pads when we used to use purple. See, isn't that cute? I just love them. Sometimes I give myself no space to put something. Let's put this that way. think at first I was stamping this one upside down because I was so blind. I didn't even notice it was upside down. Duh. But it's okay. It doesn't matter. You kind of can't tell anyway. And then the other question is what to do with the bonsai pictures. I may have to just use the entire page, not just cut out the bonsai pictures. I mean, some of them are cute, but some of them I don't like the picture. Even though the little tree in real life, I bet would be beautiful. I love bonsai. Okay. So that's those. Let me stand up and show you a little bit closer so you can appreciate all the effort I've put into these, into making these. So much time spent. Okay, see? Look how cool they are. I just love them. Okay, you don't want to see them all, but I'll show you a few. See, they're just, I love them. They're so cool. What an awesome little find in a book. Anyway, that's it. That's my little ID cards or fake IDs to pop into journals. I'm not going to ink them, like I said. I think I like them just like they are. They don't need to be made to look old and vintagey. But if you come across one in one of my journals, you can always ink them yourself. Anyway, that's it. So like I said, quick, easy little project. Use whatever you have just to make random ephemera. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.